Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games back with another cool pinball repair video for you this evening. We have been working on this Bally Circus electromechanical pinball machine for a gentleman. We told him, hey buddy, we were going to fix it up for you. And so he brought it to us. He wants us to fix it, and we're getting there. So we've been doing a couple videos on it. We did one where we worked all through the bottom of it and cleaned all the switches, cleaned all the relays. The little papers down there to tell you which relays what were missing. So we went through and labeled them all and figured out which relays what. We re-cleaned the stepper units. We worked on the fuse holders up here a little bit. And then we worked on the back box. And his nose flashes. Crazy. We worked on all of the score reels in the back. We worked on the player unit in the back. The 0 to 90 match unit in the back. We worked on the credit reel in the back and the score relays and all of that. And at the end of the last video, we basically got the thing to reset, and it reset all the score reels except for a couple of them. And so we've been having a little bit of score reel issues. But in general, the thing's up into its first player position, or it's trying to start a game. However, with that said, what we need to do now is work on the playfield a little bit. So if you came to see us work on the playfield, you came to the right video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and I'm going to pop it back up in here. We had it out so that we could get down to the bottom and work on these relays and have plenty of room to mess around. But now we're going to mate it back in there where it's supposed to be, and we'll mess with the relays on it, work with that bonus unit a little bit. We'll take a look at those flippers. And then we have some cosmetic stuff we have to do. We need to replace some light bulbs, and we need to paint a little bit on the playfield. So we'll see what we can do. But let me pop that up back in the cabinet, and then we'll go from there. So we looked at this in the first video. It's actually in very nice shape. Most of the metal is nice and clean looking. And the gentleman that owns this has been in his family for many, many years, since at least the 80s. And they took pretty good care of it. But with that said, I want to show you the pinball. This is the worst shaped pinball I've ever seen in any game. Now, I just told you they took care of it. Look at that freaking pinball. I am so glad that the game broke so that they couldn't actually roll that across the playfield. That would have destroyed it. Now, if you saw the first video, the playfield is actually in good shape. So that, I don't know how that happened, but for whatever reason, that pinball is completely destroyed. Look at that. What in the world? I might have to make that the thumbnail. Look at that. Crazy. Okay, so we're going to put a brand new pinball in it at a cost of $1.50. We're going to do it though. Nothing's too good for our customers. So we need to clean this thing up, get all of this where we think it's working, and then we'll be able to troubleshoot it a little bit and all of that whenever we get to it. But I don't see anything on it that's like a big major problem. It's just other than this freaking pinball. But the other side of it's in pretty good shape too. So let me do these Jones plugs first. So, just like always, if you've seen our videos before, you've seen all this 1,000 times. It's the same stuff. We've done about 6 of these Ballys in a row now, too, that are all kind of similar. Basically, these Jones plugs just get very oxidized and tarnished. And so you need to clean those up so that they make good contact. What we use, our buddy Chris, that we worked on a game for, said that Brasso's the way to go, but I haven't tried that yet. What we use is light sandpaper. Now, don't go crazy, but a little bit of sandpaper, get them nice and shiny again, and then they plug in down there. So that's kind of our first step. Get that out of the way, and then we'll put them back where they go. Then we're going to go through and clean all these relays, just like we always do. Basically, got tons of switches here with lots of problems. Imagine all the dirt hiding in there. So let me clean up these Jones plugs, and then we'll go from there. So we got those cleaned up, plugged back in. And it's just the same as on any other game or on the other parts of the game that we've done. We just kind of systematically do it. So the first thing I'm going to do is clean all of the relays, like we talked about. So let me brighten it up so you can see some of these. I'll show you exactly how they work. It's a very simple process. Each one of these relays has switches that are open. This one's not connected when the relay's off. So when the relay pulls in, try not to block your light. You see how the big blade makes the small blade move a little bit. That's what you want. And so you got 3 sets of them there doing that. And then over here you have a make-break switch and cobwebs. So when the relay's off, it's touching the middle, the long middle blade is touching this side, and we'll pull it in, it'll move over and touch that side. And see how both of the small blades on that switch set are moving a little bit? That's properly adjusted. Now don't go through and adjust all of them just for the heck of it, because you'll get a bunch of them adjusted off, but that's what you want. And then sometimes you'll have one that's normally closed and it opens when the relay pulls in. We don't have any of those on there, but same type of thing. So I'm going to use a little needle file to clean them up. I use like an old worn file because you don't want it to be too aggressive. You go through, get the contacts nice and clean again. I've had people say, oh, don't do that, use contact cleaner. In my opinion, the contact cleaner just doesn't get them clean enough because these have been sitting around a long time. Sometimes they have corrosion on them and rust, and unfortunately you have to get a little more aggressive than that. But you don't want to go crazy. The concept of that is correct. You don't want to go where you're filing away all of the contacts to where there's no meat left. So we're going to take it easy, but we're going to clean every one of those contacts so that whenever that thing touches, and those contacts touch, that electricity can pass between them. If they've got dirt and crap all over them like they do now, look, they're completely black. They're so tarnished. We got to get it better than that. So let me clean all those. We'll knock them out. Now, if you want to know what those are, this is the light right lane, light left lane, right lane, left lane, top center lane, the alternator, the Thumper Bumper, and the bonus advance. So I'm cleaning them, but look at this one. This is the alternator relay. So these come on, sometimes they're on, sometimes they're off, and it makes things on the playfield move around. So sometimes it'll say, when lit, lane gives you 100 points or whatever. And there's 2 lanes, and sometimes this one's lit and sometimes that one's lit, and it goes back and forth. That's usually handled by the alternator relay. So which is what we got. But look, it's stuck shut. So it's pulled in. Why would that be? Maybe it's magnetized. Popped loose. Let's see if it'll physically stick again. And it was like that. I hadn't touched it yet. I don't know. Something magnetic maybe, but it's not doing it now. But you just saw it, right? You just saw it. So I've had to do that before on other games. We had a Bally 4 million BC that we did not too long ago. This is also a Bally, and it would have been around the same time as this, that had a relay about in the same spot doing the same thing, but it wasn't the alternator relay. So what I did on that one was I took that plate off and cleaned it a little bit and then put it back. Sometimes they get rusty and something will actually physically stick, or sometimes it's just not making I don't know why it does it, but it seems like if you clean the plate, get it nice and shiny again, usually it fixes it. So we'll do that, but the rest of them all look fine. Okay, so we got all those. We also cleaned all of the switches on just like the regular rollovers. So like this is just the out lane switch. You see there's actually 2 switches that touch. One will do scoring, and then one will do maybe a bonus or something. Speaking of, we have this bonus unit here. So just like all the other stepper units, you just clean the rivets, get it nice and shiny again, so make sure that it conducts electricity. And then you want to make sure that it cleanly steps. So that's back to home. And then that it steps up. Through all of the bonus positions. Now I've noticed over the years that different companies had different numbers of steps. So let's say that's 10 or 100, whatever. So that's position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So it's a 20 position bonus unit. Sometimes they're only 10 position, or sometimes they're 15 position, it seems like. Okay, so I'm going to clean this. On one like this, you don't even have to take it apart if it's moving properly. You can just clean this half and then move it around to where it's the other way and clean that half. And then we put grease on it, dielectric grease on it to help it move a little smoother. And that's that. It's pretty much all there is to it. Very simple little unit, but if that's dirty, your bonus won't ever work right. And then you have a couple of limit switches here. So when it gets all the way that way, you see it has closed that switch. If we go back off of it one step, it opens it up. And then if we go all the way the other way, eventually it will open it when it's all the way the other way. So you got to make sure those are adjusted right. And it's different depending on the game and the setup. So sometimes that'll close when it's all the way one way, or it'll open when it's all the way one way. So why does it need that one to open? Why would that one open when it's all the way at the bottom? It's because that switch, likely, holds the reset relay on. So when you start the game, maybe it's at, the bonus is at 300 or something, okay? And it wants to get everything back to 0. So there's a relay in there, the reset relay, that pulls in. And it resets the scores and all that and blah, 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 blah. And one of the things that and the ball and play unit and the player unit or whatever, and one of the things that it does is it resets the bonus back to 0. So it needs a way of knowing when it's at 0. So it opens up that switch. So it just keeps firing this until the switch opens. And then it's back at 0. It's no longer holding the reset relay on. The reset relay falls out and the game continues to boot up. So if you get one where everything's just clicking over and over again, click, 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 it's probably trying to reset everything. So it could be that it can't get the bonus unit to move. Sometimes those get real gummy where they're just stuck, and so it won't get all the way around and open up that switch. Or it could be that one of the score wheels isn't back to 0, or something is still trying to reset, usually whenever it does that. Okay, so I'll clean up that the rivets there and show you what it looks like. Much better. So I just clean up the rivets. Make sure you clean the back side of the spider too, the little contacts on it. Whoa, whoa! Got the pinballs talking to us. Clean it up, get it looking good like that, and then we put some grease on it. Synthetic grease. And we use this because it's dielectric, which means that it conducts electricity and insulates from electricity. Isn't that crazy? You don't want to put oil or anything on it because it'll short out the contacts and make stuff catch on fire and all that. So don't do that. Use dielectric grease. Now, if you want something like that, if you go on our website, we have links to all that kind of stuff. On our website, go to lionsarcade.com. There's a parts page where we sell stuff like that. It's just links to Amazon and stuff. But if you go to Amazon after following one of our links, it gives us a little tip. So we appreciate everybody that's been doing that. We had somebody go on there and buy a chainsaw yesterday. That's pretty cool. And they clicked our link before they bought the chainsaw. So somebody earlier was telling me they don't know how that works. Okay, so here's how it works. We have this on our website. If you click the link, you go to Amazon, and it shows you this. And then our name is in the cookie or in the URL or something like that. What? Pinball's talking to us. And then once you do that, if you go find something else on Amazon, it still gives us a tip for sending you there. So thank you to everybody that's been doing that. So anyway, we got that all cleaned up and got a little, you just put a little bit of the grease on it, don't go crazy. And it still moves the way it should. You also have to make sure that you've got it about centered on the rivets. If it's like in between two rivets at the same time, that's a problem. So you can actually turn this disc. You've got these two screws here that you can loosen, but usually over time they've shrunk a little bit. The disc has shrunk a little bit, so you can just turn it by hand usually. Okay, so we got that working. I think that's all going to be good. We've got all of the switches cleaned. We've got all of the relays cleaned. So now we're down to light bulbs. So I'm going to carefully take out the light bulbs and put in new ones. Now people ask us about LEDs all the time. Yes, you can put LEDs in it if you like. I just don't really like the look of them on old EM pinball machines. But you can do that if you would like to. I usually do whatever the customer wants. So if they want LEDs, we put LEDs in. If they don't, we put the original ones in. Another thing I do is whenever you take them out on the bottom of the playfield is you can clean the bottom of the insert just so that it doesn't look all dirty from the top whenever light shines through it. Some of them are more clean than others. But so as I go through, I'll clean those, put a new incandescent bulb in it, and there won't be much left on the bottom of the playfield. We'll just have to talk about the flippers a little bit. So let me swap a bunch of bulbs and we'll go from there. Got them nice and clean. Check it out. They're going to be so smooth. I had to take this little relay board off because it covers a few of them, but that wasn't any big deal. So now we are onto the flippers. I don't know what this is. Some tech must have been working on the game and he had grease all over his fingers at some point. Many, many years ago. By the way, if you didn't watch the other videos, have I shown you the pinball that was in this thing yet? Are you ready for a treat? This is the pinball that was inside the machine. Can you believe this crap? Now thankfully the machine was broke, and so that ball didn't roll across the playfield. I'm saving it as a memento. But yeah, we got it all cleaned up. So now we are up to the flippers, all right? So the flippers, this is a very strange design from just a little while when Bally was using solid flipper, linear flipper plungers with no link. So there's not much to wear, really. There's no wear point. I mean, obviously that's wear, but like there's no wear here. Usually most of your wear in your flipper is in the link, but nothing. These are probably going to be strong as hell. So all we're going to do, I cleaned up the end of stroke switch already. So basically, power comes through, that end of stroke switch is shorting out the middle and the outside lug. See it? So that's just a direct connection through the switch. So you have a coil from here to here that's shorted out by the switch, and then another one from here to here. So this coil here is more powerful. Wham, wham, very little resistance on it. Right? So wham, pulls it in real hard, and it hits the back, the coil stop up here. And when it does, it opens up that switch, which adds more resistance into it so that you can hold it up without burning up the coil. So it's much weaker once it's all the way out. So one thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take the coil stop off. This one's actually missing a screw. I'm going to take the coil stop off and try to swap out this metal sleeve inside of the coil. Sometimes you can't because they're just stuck in there because the coil's old. But if you can swap that out and put a nylon one in there, it works a lot better. But there's not much to buy really to replace on these because you don't have to worry about getting a new plunger. But we'll try it. If they're not strong, maybe we can order some rebuild parts and stuff. But I think they're going to be strong as heck. That's what I think. And these are the 3-inch flippers, I believe. Yes, 3-inch flippers. These are going to be nice and strong. Okay, so let me take these out and let's see what the sleeves look like if we can get them out of there. So these things originally had these metal sleeves in them, which over the years they figured out that nylon just works better. And you see how they get some ridges down in there. They're kind of cool. I got the nylon ones in there. This wear here is a little weird, but we'll see what's going on with that. So that's everything on the bottom. On the kickers, basically the way they score is these switches connect power to it. It fires. Whenever it does it, it closes this switch here, which gives you points. So very simple little thing. And the Thumper Bumper, I think we've showed many times. Basically, there is a little piece like this on the Thumper Bumper. And whenever you roll up on the skirt of the Thumper Bumper, it pushes the spoon down and connects power. When the power connects, it turns on the Thumper Bumper. The Thumper Bumper pulls in and then kills power to itself. Actually, when that connects, it turns on the Thumper Bumper Relay, which pulls in the Thumper Bumper. Whenever that one opens, it kills power to it. So the Thumper Bumper Relay is here. And whenever it pulls in, it gives you points. And it holds on it turns on the coil, and then I guess it does something else too. So that's what we're looking at. These ones on the side are just dead bumpers. They don't actually thump. They are, in fact, not thumper bumpers. They are just bumpers. Okay, so we've done about everything on the bottom. There's nothing else to do, people. I mean, I could keep trying to mess with it, but there's nothing else to do. There's this one little jumper over here that says special adjustment plug, and it can be either in or out, and it's out. I cleaned it and put it back, but if you notice, it's not connected to anything because it's turned off. Now we could turn that on, but remember, we're fixing this for a customer who has had it in his family for many, many years. So whatever that adjusts, we don't really want to change it because then it won't play like it played whenever he was a kid if he has any memories of the scoring and all of that stuff. But I suppose we could look that up and just see what it does. There's probably some kind of cool little adjustment there. So I'll check it out and let you know. But we'll lay this playfield down, and then we'll see if it will kick a ball out or anything like that, if we can play it a little better than the last time that we attempted it. Here is that plug on the schematic. So you see the special lights? It says special left out, special right out. So basically the left out lane and the right out lane, the special light will come on when the bonus unit gets all the way up to the last position. We were just messing with the bonus unit. So I said it had 20 positions. It actually has 0 through 19, which is 20 positions. Okay, so whenever you get all the way to the end, it turns on the special. But it runs through the alternator relay, which we also talked about, that bounces it back and forth. So if the alternator relay is this way, if it's turned off, that's a normally connected switch, then the one on the right out lane will light up. And then if the alternator relay pulls in, I think it does that every 10 points, or it might be every 100 points, something. It just bounces back and forth. If it pulled in, then that one would open and this one would connect. And so the left out lane would be lit. Okay? And it will also be, it doesn't just move the light, of course, it makes the electronics work too, where basically it does give you the special if you roll through that, and doesn't if you roll through the other one. But they have this little adjustment, it says special adjustment, that shorts them together. So if it shorts them together, if the alternator relay is like this, it turns on both lights. If the alternator relay is like that, it turns on both lights. So basically, if that was turned on, both out lanes would light for the special, and then the other wire on it must be to actually make that work. So where it makes the special actually score if you roll through it, because all this is doing is turning on a light. So that's to actually turn on the light and actually make the special work. So let me find that real quick. So here's the other one. So if you go to the left out lane rollover, remember how we showed that there were 2 switches on some of those? If you go through that and you hit that switch, it comes up, and depending on where the alternator relay is, like on this one, the right one, and if the bonus unit limit switch is closed, so if you're all the way up on the bonus unit, remember we looked at the switch that closes whenever it goes all the way up, and the tilt relay hasn't tilted, and the game over relay hasn't game overed, it connects all the way over here, and it moves to a, let me see if it shows that. The high score feature adjustment can either be set on credit or extra ball if it's plugged into credit. And then, let me move around. It connects over here, and if the credit unit limit switch isn't open in the back box because you've got all the credits that the thing will let you get, it makes the credit unit step up solenoid step up. So when you hit the special, that's how it works. And that, if you saw the little wire, basically it was shorting the alternator relay together on that too, where it was making it work where you win either the special a free credit, or the other way, on that one jumper it could have it set where you win a free ball. But one of the wires is making it where that actually works, and then one of the wires is making it where the light turns on. And so if it's plugged in, both out lanes light and both out lanes score the special. If it's unplugged, they bounce back and forth depending on what the alternator relay is doing. So now you know. Okay, people, so we put it back in. Now this thing is in pretty dirty shape. I wasn't going to say rough shape. I think it can be fixed up very nicely, but it's filthy. But we haven't done anything with it. We haven't done anything to the top yet. But what I'm going to try to do is see if it will at least try to start a game. We've been cleaning and cleaning and cleaning, and boy, it'd be cool if it tried to start a game. So if you hit the left flipper, turns on your lights. Boy, that looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Now, Happy over here, I'm calling him Happy. He has a nose that blinks. We haven't done anything at the top of the playfield. Okay. So we tried to start it the other night, and when we did, all of the reels wouldn't reset, but we got them all back to 0. Now we had one phantom reel down there that moved to 1 on its own, on camera. The playfield wasn't even in it, and it scored 100 points on the 4th player in front of our eyes. If you didn't see it, go back and watch it. It was incredible, and I was filming that video right at midnight. Now you're going to think I just made that part up. I am not. It was right at midnight when it did it. I got security camera footage to show it. But anyway, so we're going to try to reset it and see what it does. Now I did something here, okay? Just for giggles, we haven't cleaned under here at all. So I put that rusty freaking pinball back in there. I am not going to roll it over to playfield, but I want to see if on the metal bar, there's all metal in there, if it'll get from there to there with the old freaking pinball. So we'll see if it does anything. So I set one score reel to 1 just to see if it would reset. It moved up to 5,000. It never shot the ball out, and it doesn't say ball in play yet because we haven't done we haven't replaced any of the light bulbs. But the flipper is flipping. Okay, let's see if anything will score. Advanced bonus and 500 points. Well, it didn't advance the bonus, but it gave us 500 points. 1,000 points. Hey, our chimes are working. 1,000 and lights the left bonus lane. Advances bonus when lit. I'm hearing something buzzing in there. Maybe the bonus thing is maybe the bonus thing is holding on. Clearly we still have lots of playability issues, but hey, we're getting there. So we've got everything cleaned. Now we just need to troubleshoot it, and we need to do a whole ton of cosmetic stuff. So we've got about 2 videos worth of work left, don't we? We need one where we need to fix everything and one where we need to do all the cosmetics. So leave your comments below. Let us know what you think so far. Make sure to give us a thumbs up for taking the trouble to film it for you. What do you think? Is this thing going to come together? I think it's already getting there. It's not perfect yet, but it's coming right along. Now, the customer mentioned to me, by the way, that he remembers seeing the license sticker on it. And so we're going to leave this on here because he has fond memories of it. But we'll clean it all up, and then we'll do a whole video where we troubleshoot it using the schematics and figure out what all is acting up. It does have several things acting up, like that phantom reel down there that scored 100 points the other night without us even knowing about it. And then the ones that wouldn't reset, and then the bonus not working right just now, and blah blah blah. And clearly we've got a bunch of cosmetic stuff we've got to do. I'm going to repaint this area around the pop bumper. We can't leave it like that, people. We got to get that back how it's supposed to be. So look forward to that. So leave your comments below. Let us know what you think. And make sure to, last but not least, check out my brother Donnie. If you don't know about him, he has a channel here on YouTube that I'm on often with him. And if you like watching us work on these old pinball machines, you would probably like watching my brother Donnie and I work on old buildings. We have a couple old buildings that we bought in a small town near here that are all dilapidated, and we're fixing them up to help revitalize that downtown. We're going to rent them out. So if you want to see the journey, go check it out. He's crazier than I am. But I hope you enjoyed it. I'm happy to have the playfield back in it. Now we can actually clean it up and do some cosmetic stuff and make it look a lot better. So we'll see you on the next video. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And y'all have a good evening.